Hello everyone, a quick one today. Just a reminder, our new episode will be coming out this Friday. It is part 1 of 2, which are actually parts 3 and 4, as it turns out, of an ongoing conversation that we started with the episodes that are already published, parts 1 and 2, about artificial intelligence. We've carried that forward with the discussion of the right use of books, as well as some other things, which are going to come up in that conversation. Part 1 of that will publish this Friday, and then the follow-on in 2 weeks. And then we already know what we're carrying on to past that, although we would love to hear from you about anything you'd like us to talk about. But in the midst of all of this, I've noticed some content through the social media channels for our podcast over the last couple of days that got me thinking. One of the real issues with an over-focus on intellectual knowledge, an over-focus on book knowledge, an over-focus on knowing about things, I think, stems from what has emerged over the last probably 500 years, a misunderstanding about what being a Christian actually is. Being a Christian is not having a whole bunch of ideas in your head that are the correct ideas about God and creation and the universe. We see at the end of Matthew 25 and many other places that discuss the final judgment. It is not a quiz to see if you have the correct doctrine and theology. That's simply not what it is. Being a Christian is living the way of the life of faithfulness to the evangelion of Jesus the Christ, as we're so fond of saying on this show. That's not just a catchphrase. That is to us what Christianity is. That is how we understand our faith. It is faithfulness. It is doing things that demonstrate our attempt to love God and accept the love of God. That's what it is. And this is why at the end of the day, you can't argue someone into the faith. There's no philosophical argument, there's no rational debate, there's no logical proof that will convince someone to be a Christian. And even if there was, it wouldn't work, because then all they would have is a bunch of stuff in their head. What matters is what we do. And that's not works righteousness, because we can only do the right things with God's help and the Holy Spirit moving through us. All virtue is God's virtue. But at the end of the day, our faith is not a philosophy, it's not a school of thought, it's a way of life. And that's what's important to us. And we see this in the 2nd chapter of Romans, which we would encourage you to read.